Good morning, everyone. You are currently muted. I will unmute you in a second. Good morning, everyone. While we are giving everyone a few minutes to join, I will just unmute you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Everybody.
I'm on mute. I've muted myself. Let's give it till 5 past for everybody's just to join, and then we can start. Okay, morning for those who have just joined. We are giving it till 5 past, and then we'll officially start. So I think while we are waiting for everyone to join, I'm going to just launch a quick poll so we can just get a feeling of how everybody is feeling today. You'll see it popping up on your screen. You're welcome to give us an indication of how you are feeling today.
Yeah. Tips.
Okay, it is 5 past. I think we are going to start. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our second session of our cyber security awareness training sessions. These are our public sessions where everyone in Namibia and I mean even beyond can join. So thanks so much for making time for us today. My name is Vanessa Maresh. I am an empowerment specialist at Salt Essential IT. And I'm also joined on the call by Grace Kachivena, also from SALT and also an empowerment specialist. So thank you so much for making time for this very important training or awareness session. It's very encouraging that if we see that people are keen on learning how to protect themselves and their families and their businesses. So that session will be 1 hour long. I find it prudent to note that there will be a test at the end. So please try to pay attention, make your notes, because there will be a test at the end. And if you do pass that test, as well as the previous one, for those who attend all the sessions and pass the test, we're going to be handing out some digital security badges so that you can go and flaunt your cybersecurity superhero status on social media or wherever you so feel fit. But you do need to pass that test, so do make notes. Good. Like I said, the session will probably be ending at about 12. We are going to be working through the content today. There's going to be some, we're going to be starting off with just the short message from the Deputy Minister, Emma Theophilus, just explaining a little bit about why we are doing this. Okay, there's something in the chat. What about those who are only attending for the first time today? All right, so Albertine, what we will do for you is I will share the link to last week's recording, which you can find on YouTube. You can review that, and I will then also share last week's test link with you, and then you can participate as if you are you attended the first time as well. That's fine. That's why we have the recordings. Awesome. Great stuff. So I'm going to then start off with the Deputy Minister's message. Thereafter, we'll do a quick recap just to make sure that we remember, for those who were last week here, who can remember what we were learning about, and then we'll jump into the training session. Good. So let me just start off by sharing my screen. So feel free to let us know if you can't see anything or hear anything. Unfortunately, like with the online sessions, sometimes it is internet on your side as well. So it will be part of the recording. So please don't fret if you don't hear or see anything during the session. It will be in the recording. So let's go. Let's hear what our lovely Deputy Minister has to say.
With the evolution of information communication technologies, Namibia as a developing country is no exception to cyber attacks and cybercrime. The growing cyber attacks jeopardize the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of Namibia's critical infrastructure. The Namibian government seeks to build a cyber-resilient nation. Hence, in line with cabinet endorsement, the Ministry of Information Communication Technology developed the National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan. The purpose of the awareness creation is to empower the nation's citizens with the knowledge and skills to make informed decisions when faced with potential cybercriminal activities, whether in general or at the workplace. The national document is a step towards building cybersecurity resilience and digital security to enable an innovative Namibia and attainment of social and economic growth. With this plan, the nation is prepared to respond effectively to the threats or attacks on network systems and services. Namibia will reap benefits and economic opportunities presented by the use of ICTs on the condition that the country's citizens are ready, capable, and vigilant against the threats that include phishing attacks, ransomware, cyberbullying, and child online vulnerability. The National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan helps to safeguard the citizens' privacy, educate and create awareness to safeguard the national critical information infrastructure, as well as ensure collaboration on cybersecurity to continuously improve the safety of vulnerable groups in the cyberspace. The scourge of cybercrime has the potential to negatively impact the nation's ability to achieve its developmental objectives. Namibia has encountered a rise in incidents of misuse of available internet platforms by criminals to carry out cyber attacks. These growing cyber threats disturb the purpose of digital participation and connectivity, as well as the integrity of our national critical information infrastructure. It is for these reasons that the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, in collaboration with South Essential Information Technology, is hosting a series of awareness creation sessions for the Namibian nation. I therefore urge you all to join the ministry and South Essentials efforts to participate in these sessions in order to be equipped with the necessary skills in order to be safe on the internet, protect our nation's critical infrastructure, and make informed decisions should you fall victim or help those who fall victims to cyber attacks.
All right, so that was the framework surrounding the session today, which is the second of 8 sessions for this year. We will be repeating the content again next year, and we will be sharing those dates for whoever you still feel should attend. You can then share it there. So I do urge you to follow us on social media, because we are posting the information and the links. We are posting on social media as well. I'll also be sharing with you a URL to our website, where you can also find the links as well as the recordings that you can share far and wide, please. So to start off our session today, or the second part of our session, we want to just make sure that you are remembering some of the things that you have learned last time. So I'm also going to be posting a quick, give you 2 minutes just to answer my question. It's also going to be a poll. It's going to pop up in the middle of your screen, and let's see who can remember. And even for those who weren't part of last week's session, you're welcome to give it a go. And it's one of the key things we learned in our last session is the importance of personal information, because it can be used to get access to our accounts. So we really want people to understand what is personal information and how can they actually protect themselves by not having this personal information floating around, or at least controlling who can get access to our personal information. So please, it's on the screen there. Give it a go. Complete that little poll for us and tell us, what do you think is personal information? Anyone? That was me, so that doesn't really count. I was giving a clue. Anyone for personal information? Do we know what personal information is? Excellent. Identity numbers, surnames, numbers, IDs. Yes, not so much personal impersonation. Personal information, for those that didn't attend last time and are going to still review the recording, please remember that it is any information that's related to your identity. Your ID number, your social security number, even your location, your house address. all of these things are personal information that can actually be used by criminals to access your accounts or to impersonate you. So any information that we are that is out there, or not even out there, but that is linked to our identities, is personal information. Okay. Well done, team. Thanks so much. One more before we jump into today's training. So also what we asked everybody to do, please, is to go and review the settings of your social media accounts. Review the settings of your social media accounts. Those are both the security settings and the privacy settings. So we also had a slide in last week's session where we actually showed you how you can go and remove, or how you can go set it up so that you don't have followers. We said that we don't want 70,000 strange people from all over the world looking at everything that we do on social media, because that's where we put personal information. So if we put our personal information there and we've got our followers on, then we know that a lot of potential criminals are actually looking at what we are doing online. They can see that we are posting on Facebook or Instagram that we are now going on holiday, and we post our location as we leave the country, and so on and so on. So it's still okay to do that if you know who your friends are, and they really are your friends on social media. And in the case of you being an influencer, obviously that's a different story. If you're an influencer, but you should still be careful of what you put on social media, because we do not want people that we are not comfortable with having access to our personal information and our comings and our goings. Okay, so I'm glad to see that we sort of have a tie. A lot of people have looked at those settings. Some people have only looked at some, and then we have some no's here. I'm hoping those are the ones that haven't, that didn't attend last week's session. So please note in the chat, there is a link to the recording to last week. It's super important that you go review all your privacy and security settings. Okay. Good. So with that said, let us jump into the actual session for today. I am going to just share my screen. Right. Okay, so today's session is all about prevention and resilience to cybersecurity threats and attacks. So how do we prevent and become more resilient to cybersecurity threats and attacks? Sorry, it seems I'm having a problem loading my screen. So let me just, there we go. All right. Okay, so, oh dear, no, I'm on session 1 now. Bear with me. Let me just share the correct one. That is not the correct one. Oh, there we go. It's coming. My apologies. Too many PowerPoints. Yes, so prevention and resilience to cybersecurity threats and attacks. So we did our recap. We did our intro by the Deputy Minister. We did our recap. We're going to look at passwords today, how to build really strong passwords. Unfortunately, we're still in a space where our biometrics are letting us down a little bit. I don't know if you have ever used the facial recognition of a device, and the morning when, like me, you didn't put on any makeup, there's no way that thing is recognizing my face. So they're still a little bit unreliable. So we are stuck with passwords. So we need to know for a while longer how to have strong passwords and what are the do's and don'ts around passwords. We're going to look at something that is notorious in cyber crime, which is links. They are absolutely the highway to hell if you don't know what's going on with links. Very important that we understand what links are and how to verify if they are legitimate or not, if they are going to take us to the website or the place that we think or they say they are going to take us to. Then a very important concept we're going to look at is MFA, multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication. very, very important that we have. And that's going to be your homework for next week, that you go and switch on MFA on all your social media accounts, because then even if they do manage to crack your password, they are going to need that third level of verification, which if you've got your MFA switched on, they won't be able to actually breach your account. Then we are also going to be looking a bit at scams. And then we'll have an activity. We'll have a little announcement. If you haven't heard about iSecureBot yet, remember iSecureBot. We're going to show you how you can access iSecureBot. And we are also then going to be posting the link to the test and have our Q&A. Okay, so today's session is all about not being the victim. We are going to be learning how we are not going to be the victim. And remember, especially if you are guardians, you are parents, please, this information is just as relevant and as valid for our kids. They're all on devices. Believe me, they are all on. I was laughing so much. We did the iSecureBot, we did the launch of this whole strategy with the ministry at iSecureBot. And it was so funny because one of the colleagues asked, who all has a Facebook account? And all the kids screamed, Facebook is for old people. So, we need to share this information with them. You need to empower them, share the recordings with them. We also will have educational sessions going forward. And they also need not to be a victim. And we as the parents and guardians need to make sure that they don't become a victim. Okay, so criminals will use any means to get your personal information via seemingly legit methods. We're in this together. We're a team. It's us against them. And even though we have to be, or we are on social media, most people are there. We like to enjoy the benefits of social media. It's not like you shouldn't be on social media. It's just that you need to just be careful that in terms of are my settings correctly set up, I'm not giving out personal information on social media that is accessed by potential criminals. And a big message here is if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Good. Okay, so I explained in the last session as well, the idea is that you don't need to learn off by heart all of the different cybersecurity vulnerabilities and all of the different types of attacks. What we are aiming at teaching you in these sessions is what you need to be aware of, and you need to know what the signs are. So there they are. You can also go and Google them. There are so many of them, and every day new ones are popping up, new vulnerabilities, new attacks, and with the rise of artificial intelligence, it's going to become more and more. But irrespective of the attack type or vector, these are not the things we are not, I'm a little bit technical, but I assume a lot of us on today's session is not technical, and you don't need to be technical to be able to protect yourself. So yes, there are lots of different types of attacks, lots of different types of threats, but we want to arm you with the information so that you know when this is a potential attack and what to do when you are being attacked. So one of the major things that we want to sink in today, and yes, it will be in the test, is about links. So many times we get an email which tells us, click here or your password will expire in 3 hours, so click here. We'll lose access to your account, so click here, click here, click here. Whenever you see a sign in, a call to action, there is a link that is telling you to do something. And there's like we learned in the last session, what are the warning signs is there's a sense of urgency, all of those things. Then please first hover over the link. Do not click on it. Do not click on links. First hover over the link. And if the email was from Microsoft and there is no Microsoft on the address that you see there, HTTP, if there's no Microsoft in there, that link will not take you to a Microsoft website. If there's no Standard Bank in there and the mail came from Standard Bank, it will not take you to a Standard Bank website. It is going to take you somewhere else. So please hover before. An important note here is also that the banks will not ask you for personal information on an email or ask you to change your password on an email. Please note that. And if you want to be sure, hover over the link. The real culprit, the real place will pop up where it's going to take you. So there are many, and again, this is a little bit technical, but one of the techniques they use is credential harvest. So this is where they try to get your username and password. And typically with the bank, they send you a fake email coming from the bank telling you to click here and update your password. So what do? You click there and you give them your login name and your password. So a surefire way of seeing if this is a legitimate website. So maybe you have now clicked on the link. Thankfully, damage hopefully has not been done. It just opens up a website. 2 surefire ways to see if this is a trusted website or not. So it doesn't mean if there is no S that it is a criminal website. And I'll explain now how this works. But there are 2 ways you can see that it's not a trusted website. All financial institutions, including Netflix, YouTube, all the banks, they have to have what we call a secure website. So it needs to be secured. That is done by purchasing a SSL certificate. And that makes your website safe and secure. It can't be penetrated by hackers. And the 2 ways that you can actually see is, number 1, there will be a little lock with the word secure. A little lock with the word secure. That's how you know that. Do you see that little lock over there? And the top one, the legitimate one, that is the lock that says this website is secure. The URL or website address will also have an S in it. HTTPS. The URL will have an S in it. It stands for secure. HTTPS. If it's only HTTP, it's not a secured website. Not necessarily a criminal one, but not secure. And how they do it, and we'll later in the rest of our course or our sessions, we'll show you exactly how they manage to do this. But it is literally by buying a domain name that is spelled a little bit differently than the original one. And that's how they can actually then impersonate this website. But HTTPS for secure, and the lock will definitely show you if it is a secure website and if you can proceed to enter your credentials. So now I am going to play a video for you again. And this one is just a short nip, just to show you. And once again, there is no such thing as, because many times we see people not reporting these things because they feel silly and they've been duped or they were stupid. This is not the case. It's just a lack of awareness, and that is why attending these sessions and sharing these sessions is so very important, because it's just a lack of awareness, a lack of knowledge. So let me play you a quick clip of what actually happened in the UK a few years ago. I believe it was in the UK. So bear with me. And let's just see how much is company security worth. All right, so now you see how easy it is, and I bet you that the people didn't even really think about it. They didn't even really think about, it's a survey, it's done publicly. But one of the key things about cybersecurity is that they try to get your personal information via seemingly legitimate ways. So they will pretend to be harmless. And that's basically what they were trying to showcase with that exercise, with the survey, is that people will very easily participate in something. I mean, it's a Mars bar. Why not give them my personal information? The next clip I want to play you is specifically around passwords. This was done in America, and I'm quite sure we might have a similar response here in Namibia. We might still give it a go one day. So if you're stopped on the street and asked what's your password, beware. But I want to play you another clip because it just shows you again, and it's not that people are stupid. They are just not thinking or recognizing that their personal information is actually they're giving their personal information because it is asked in such an innocent way. So let's look at what is your password.
About cybersecurity lately, largely because of what happened to Sony. Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers, and he plans to address this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. You know, the most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon.
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School.
Oh, when did you graduate?
In 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay.
But,
Have you had this cat for a while?
yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
So Jolie 6 12
Nine.
95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's, you know, it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland 1 2 3 4. Gemma 1 2 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
so
what? Like what's a good Italian password?
my grandma's name.
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned a.
All right. Okay. So I think everyone, you get the idea. It's people use seemingly legitimate ways to try to get our personal information, and those people are not stupid. They really, literally, they just didn't think about it and spoke without saying. So whenever I want to say anybody wants personal information from you, please make sure that the source that you're giving it to is legitimate. That if it is the bank, if it is any institution that is accredited or that you do know and that you do transact with or do business with or engage with, verify the legitimacy of it. And there are still hard and fast rules that the banks will not try to get your personal information through emails. So please be wary of that. So next up, we're going to learn how to make strong passwords. All right. I first want to maybe pose to the audience a question. Who is using, and you, again, there are no stupid answers here. And if you are currently doing it, that's the reason why we are here, is because we want to change that and become more cyber secure. Who is using the same password for all their accounts or for many of their accounts? Who is using the same password? Okay, we have a hand, we have another hand. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I tell you that having 5 social media accounts, banking accounts, the works banking accounts, I mean, the poor mind, our brains were, and that's why we use personal information in our passwords, because it's easy for us to remember. And that's exactly what the criminals are bargaining on. They are expecting that to happen. So when they have access to our social media accounts, they see our personal information, and now they can try to build passwords and they've got, the scary thing is they've got super scary software that can actually troll or scan all your social media and scan the internet and pick up on personal information, and then they actually try the different pieces of personal information, birthdays, child name, all of that, hundreds of thousands of different combinations until they get a winning password. And that's why what we're going to learn today about multi-factor and passwords is so very important. And we're going to teach you, after this short clip, we're going to teach you how to build a super strong password, and we're going to teach you how to build one for each of your accounts that you will find easy to remember. So let us jump in with another quick video on passwords, because it's such a big thing in our lives. Let me just get out of this one. Okay, you can go away. Whoopsie. Sit.
No one likes to be a cliche. And when it comes to your passwords, those predictable words and phrases can be more than embarrassing. They're downright dangerous. Common words or names of kids or pets can be easy to guess. To make matters worse, sophisticated passcode cracking software is now very common, and a simple password can be cracked in milliseconds. It's important to make sure your password is strong enough to withstand an assault. Passphrases are harder to crack and easier to remember. You can use spaces or dashes to set apart the words, which will often count as special characters. Want a password that will outlast the planet? You can create incredibly strong passwords by combining a passphrase with special characters. Each site may have unique requirements for password strength, but most will require a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Pick something meaningful and memorable to you, but not so obvious that it's easy to guess. Even the strongest password can be exposed if a social media site or large company has a data breach. Make each password unique by adding a variation at the beginning or end of your passphrase. All this work to come up with a strong password may seem complicated, but much easier than dealing with the aftermath of an account hack or the cost of a financial theft. So here are your important tips. 1. Never write down your password. 2. Use strong passwords that you can remember. 3. Don't use the same password for multiple sites. 4. Never use obvious passwords that others can guess. Remember, no one likes stereotypes, except password thieves. Be sure to share this with your friends and family.
Okay, so those are tips that you can use for making strong passwords. Sorry, Milka, is your hand up or is it an old hand? Do you have a question? I think maybe it's an old hand.
Oh, it's an old hand.
Okay, good. You can take it down. All right. So let's go into how just the definite rules of having a strong password. What there are rules you do need to adhere to, but we're going to show you today how we can make that at least a little bit easier on our poor brains, because like I said, it's exhausting, and that's why we resort to using our pets' names or our kids' names. So I'm going to show you here on the screen. Here we go. Okay, so passwords must be at least 8 characters long, ideally 12. So the why behind longer makes them stronger, is that, remember that software that does the cracking of the different characters and personal information bits? It takes them about 3 months to crack a 12-character password. So if you've got a 12-character password without personal information, you're safe. Okay? You're safe. And if you've got MFA, you are even safer in the digital world. So please, at least 12 characters long. Don't use real words. We'll give you a tip how to do that now. Do not use personal information. Add a recovery phone number and email address. Except if it's Gmail, please don't use your Gmail as for your Google account recovery email address. You are gonna not get back in there. But please add a phone number and a recovery email address. Modify easy to remember phrases and use a password manager. I'm going to put for you also in the chat box a very nice free to use. Oh dear, Albertine, me and the video are both speaking. Where's the video speaking? Okay, Esther, your hand is up. Where is me and the video speaking? I can't hear any. Are you still hearing the video? Maybe it's stuck. Maybe it's stuck. If something like this happens and you're sort of in a loop, then please just leave the call and join again. Leave the call and join again. Anyone else that can't hear me? Oh, sorry. Okay, let me go past that one. Is it still playing? I see, but is it playing now? It's not playing now. Okay, good, excellent. Okay, I hope I'm not playing at the same time with the video now anymore. So a link to a strong password or a good password manager, I'm going to share with you. If you after today still feel like all these passwords, you cannot handle them anymore, it's driving you nuts, then there is a password manager for you. But let's look at how do we build strong, unique passwords that do not break your brain. Okay, so I figured this one out when I realized that I have all the same passwords and I had to find a way to make strong passwords without breaking my brain. So what I do is I look at, this is my office. This is where I spend most of my working time. And what I then did is firstly, I developed a key. Okay, so the key you can write down. The key you can write down on your desk pad or put it on your phone, on notes or sticky notes or what have you, but you do need a key. And what this key is, the key actually is just taking a letter and turning it into a special character or number. So I've got, for example, A equals @ I equals exclamation mark, L equals 1. O equals 0. So this can be any letters you can take. You can just randomly pick them. You can write them down and then you just go and make the A a @ or the E as a 3. So just go and make a key where these letters, I will now from now on in my passwords change to these special characters or numbers. And I promise you, it might seem painful, but give it 2 weeks and it will be in your head. I don't even know where my key is anymore. And even if someone had the key, it would be pointless just having the key. Because the second part of building a strong password is actually around you, where you spend most of your day. So I spend most of my day at the office. My mouse is yellow. My mouse is yellow. So if I now, for example, want to change my password, what is yellow? Okay, maybe that was a bad example. Let me use another example. Let me use NetBank. So say I need to change my NetBank password. And now I look around for something that's green and I say, oh, I have Jacob's Coffee here. That's green. So now every time I think about going into NetBank, I look around, what is green? Oh, there it is, the Jacob's Coffee. As an example, then you take Jacob's Coffee and you apply your key to it. So now you say Jacob's Coffee, the A's are a @ the O's are a zeros, and so on and so on and so on. So now every time you need to log into your NetBank account, you'll look around for something that's green because that's something you associate in your mind, and you'll apply your key to it and you'll be able to log in. Yes, it's still not very easy, but it's much easier than trying to remember a random string of numbers. So for all your social media accounts, you might have, for Facebook is blue, then I look around, oh, there's blue blinds. My office has blue blinds, and then I apply the key and so on. So please go and change your passwords. If they've got any personal information in, go make them strong. apply the developer key for yourself, and something that you can think of when you want to log into that site. So that is how to build super strong passwords. Are we going to try that? Can I see some thumbs? You'll see there's a reaction button on the screen. If you want to give me some thumbs, you want to tell me we're going to try that. Okay, awesome. Brilliant. The next concept that's really important is the one of multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication is multiple layers of verification of your identity. So the first layer that we have is usually the username or our email address. The second layer that we have is our password, and now we know how to make a really strong one and different ones for our accounts. And the third layer is something that is another level of verifying your identity. Now, if you really want to do the right thing and be very safe, you will go and download the Microsoft Authenticator app from your Play Store or your App Store, the Microsoft Authenticator app. Please go download that, and you follow the instructions to set up your different accounts on it. It is a bit complicated, but believe me, in the long term, in the long run, it is the better way to do it. The other option you have is to have a code sent to your mobile phone. Now, the problem with the code being sent to the mobile phone is that we have learned recently that some of the cyber criminals have intercepted the SMSs. That's why I'm saying the best thing would be the Authenticator app, but failing that, you should still be okay-ish with just the code. With a strong password and the code, you'll be okay. So please go to all your social media accounts, do it today. Go to all your social media accounts, go to settings. If you don't know where to find that, you can Google it, although we will be looking at the settings in a later session as well. Go to settings and go switch on your multi-factor or two-factor authentication. It's something you have, something you know, and something you are. Something you have, like a mobile phone, something you know, like your password, and something you are it could be biometrics or a code. Okay, so please go and do that today. The next one we're going to do, and I'm just going to skip over this video because I don't want it to play the same time as I do. Or talk at the same time as I do. We're going to be looking at scams, and for that I am going to be playing you a video. Everybody's talking about AI, artificial intelligence. It's just super fantastic. If you want to learn the good side of AI, you're welcome to join our enablement sessions. We'll have some awesome, the good side of AI sessions we will have, where you will learn how to, where you can learn how to use the artificial intelligence to be super productive and really help you with your work. But unfortunately, as with all things, there is a dark side. And the criminals will use the dark side to try to expose us and to try to commit crimes. So I'm going to play you our final video for today. How do criminals use AI and deep fakes to scam you? So let me share that. It's the last video for today. Yay. All right, so doing that 1 second, bear with me. Share. Okay, here we go.
AI is used for all kinds of things, from smart tech to robotics and gaming. But there's one group that are using artificial intelligence for rather nefarious reasons. Criminals. Imagine you're working at a British company and your CEO calls.
We missed the deadline for a transfer in Germany. Since you're an hour behind us, I need you to transfer 220,000 euros to an account in Hungary.
You recognize his voice and his mild German accent, so you complete the transaction. But it wasn't your CEO, Johannes, you were talking to. It was an AI. This is the case of the false Johannes.
The false Johannes is the first one where we see very strong indications that AI has been used. We don't see that yet in other cases, but if it's very well done, that's the trick about it, we might not even know it.
But how was it done?
We are quite certain that it must have been an AI-based voice cloning software.
Marie-Christine Krug is a cybersecurity expert with insurance company Euler Hermes. The company.
Okay, I just want to check with anyone. Can everybody see the video?
Had to pay off the insurance.
Is everybody good with the video? Okay.
claim for the false Johannes case. All you would need to program one of these voice clones is recorded snippets of the target's voice. These can often be found online, for example from interviews the target's done. Deepfakes use artificial intelligence to recreate faces and voices of people. But how? Deepfakes are the product of not one, but two AI algorithms that work together, and something called a generative adversarial network, or GAN. The two algorithms are called a generator and a discriminator. The generator is producing a fake video. The discriminator is trying to distinguish between the real images and the fake video. This iterative process continues until the generator is able to fool the discriminator into thinking that the footage is real. By watching recordings and gathering data to analyze how people move their faces, artificial intelligence can then recreate this live. They can even be used to manipulate the lips of someone else, so it looks like they're saying something different. This was invented to improve dubbing films into foreign languages, but it could also be used for identity fraud, to make it possible to impersonate someone for a remote verification for your bank. But it's not just this that criminals are using AI for. It also makes traditional hacking more convenient.
And really what we're seeing, it just is this ability to use artificial intelligence just to increase the speed and volume of attacks. And that's really been the theme of 2020, and it's pulled into 2021. It's just the speed and volume of attacks has just gone up by orders of magnitude.
Evidence was found that a leaked database of 1.4 billion passwords was used to gather data. Hackers can also use AI bots on social media to farm information and phish for account details. AI can, however, also come to the rescue, detecting whether something is deepfake or whether activity from a social media account is suspicious is also done by AI.
It's a bit of an arms race, really. It's you know, the cyber criminals have access to artificial intelligence, so do the defenders, and really it's just a question of trying to keep up and making sure that you're using the appropriate techniques at speed now.
Companies already lose millions and billions of dollars a year in fraud, but this number could keep growing.
Right. Okay, so I think that was our video on scams. I see Sigourney has a hand up. No video, just the audio. I'm so sorry about that. We'll share the recording, and failing that, if you still can't see, I'll share the links with you. Sorry about that video. Okay, just dark screen. All right, I'll share the link as well. On that note, we are going to be sharing the link to the test. Also, we are asking for your name and your email address so that we can communicate your results with you at the end of the day, not to use it for marketing or any other criminal purposes. I know it's personal information, but we'll then also be able to, if you leave it there for us, we can share the link to the video as well. So just be aware of that. So we've come to the last part of our session, which is just looking at scammers. And when I was talking about the warning bells, we're not going to want to learn all the complicated names and understand how all the technical bits behind cybercrime, how that works. Because we can't. We are normal human beings and we are not going to manage. But there are certain things that when it comes your way, when communications of this nature come your way, that you will first verify legitimacy of the request before you give anything. You will first verify, and how we verify legitimacy is if it's someone phoning from the bank or MTC, you want money, you will phone MTC back. And then you'll see quickly that they will just put down the phone or whatever the case is. So it's not about us not, wanting to have anybody win something or be happy, but just verify the legitimacy of any type of request. So what are those warning bells? What are the bells that should go ding-a-ling-a-ling in your head when these types of communications come to us? It's out of the blue. You didn't expect it. So anything that is out of the blue and you didn't expect should make the warning bells go off in your head. They claim there is an emergency. So they say anything that elicits an emotion from you. Remember, when we become emotional, when we're scared, when we're sad, when we're afraid, when we're happy, when we're excited, all of those things that we don't think as clearly as we normally do. The emotional brain sort of starts to override the rational brain. So anything that elicits an emotion, including an emergency, just verify before you provide anything. So emergency is, oh, you must change your password before 5 o'clock. That makes us feel a little bit afraid that we'll lose access to our account. So anything that's making you feel emotion or it shuts down your rational brain. Then anytime anyone wants your personal information, think about the people that gave their personal information to the reporter, and helped them or actually gave their whole password to the reporter. They want to send money. As soon as there is money involved, please, the warning bells will go off on your head. If you're told to keep it a secret, and finally, if it's too good to be true. We all want to inherit a castle in Scotland. We all want to inherit a castle in Scotland, sorry. We all want to inherit a castle in Scotland, but if it's too good to be true, it is. Not to say that there's nothing stops you from verifying the legitimacy of it, just do your research. Good. So next up, we have a little activity that we're going to do. You are welcome to unmute yourself and participate, or just use the chat box. So this is a WhatsApp you get. Just imagine your mom. Hey, mom, it's me. I got a new number. You can delete the old one. Which me is it? Mom asked. Your oldest and cutest child. I got the new iPhone and I'm still busy transferring everything. Good luck, mom says. I have a little problem. I just got to work. I have a little problem I can't solve. Can you help me with it? What is it, honey? I just got to work, but I can message for the next half an hour or so. Well, because of the new device, I have to transfer all apps, but the banking app has put a 48-hour security on the app due to fraud. It's all nice, but I have to pay 2 payments. It's very annoying because I can't do anything about it. Could you possibly play it for me and return it? I'll return it as soon as possible. What are the warning bells? What are the signs here? What are the things that should make us think, ooh, something weird is going on? Anyone want to give it a go? What are the warning signs? Nathan? Anyone? What is a bit, what did we look at the previous slide? What are the signs? Okay, Milka, your hand is up.
I'm seeing here that the first sign, your oldest and cutest child. This already should give you a sign.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else? Didn't give the name. Yep, that's also. And what is the biggest thing here that we see? They want money. Even if it's just yes, identified themselves and they ask for money. You are right, Ruida. Money makes the world go round. Well done, team. We are going to just wrap up for today. Don't be the victim. The key takeaways for today is passwords, keep them long and strong. Always double check links. Enable MFA wherever you can. Go to your settings and do that. Be aware of the signs. And if it's too good to be true, it is. Yes, and Grace, the prompts and the urgency, definitely. So before we end off today and give you the link to the test, if you can scan it in, I will also, we can also put it on email for you. Please take a moment to scan that in. That is our newly launched iSecureBot. It's a WhatsApp bot. It's a WhatsApp bot, and you can actually ask that WhatsApp bot questions about cybersecurity. There's a menu. You get access to nice PDFs, which gives you more information about anything of cybersecurity. You want to learn more about phishing. You want to learn more about passwords, physical security, anything you can think of. You can just type hi to the WhatsApp bot and start to engage with the WhatsApp bot. So please I'm going to give you 30 seconds or a minute just to scan that in. It's really worth it. You can even leave it a voice note in a different language. Just don't try Afrikaans because it comes out as Dutch. But if you want to leave it a voice note, and unfortunately not all the local languages, that being said, but just try it in English. You can ask it, hey, help me. My Facebook account has been hacked. and it'll answer you. So please take a moment and sign up for that. Is there a question? Let's have a looky. What are we scanning in? The QR code. Do you see there is a QR code? It looks like a cloud. So if you have got your QR code scanner and you scan and you point it towards that cloud, it's going to scan in the code. It's going to scan in the code. Some people can use the camera. Yeah, I think it's the Samsung. Which one? Some people can. There's a hand. Okay. Milka, is it an old hand or a new hand? New hand. New hand. Yes.
Old hand, sorry.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so all right, I think what I'm going to do is let's give everyone 30 more seconds to do the scanning, and then I'll just share the link. You can also scan in the test QR code. Albertine, yes, your hand is up.
Sorry, my screen, where should I scan? Because I can still see my screen is having the scan slide.
Is it okay? Let me just reshare. Let me just share and reshare 1 second. Maybe it's a bit weird. What I'll do, let me rather put it up big on the screen for everyone. Just for a moment. Where is it? Ta-da! I'll share that as well. Okay. Yeah, let me share that. So you can, and please, you're welcome to share iSecureBot with anyone who is interested to get access to it. It's really super nifty, iSecureBot. You can type it questions, you can voice note it questions, anything you want to know. We also eventually we're going to be putting the training there, so we're going to be putting the link to the training. We're going to be putting there for you as well. All right. I hope everybody could scan. For those who couldn't, you can tell us that in the test. There's a little feedback option as well. We can also share it with you on email. We can also share the number with you so that you can add it to your WhatsApp. We can share that. So use the feedback section of the test. It doesn't count any points to tell us if you haven't been able to scan or you need the number or anything like that. So without further ado, I'm going to now put up the link to the test. Here we go. But before I do, I am going to give you one more quick poll. We're running a couple of minutes over today. My apologies. We will endeavor not to do so again. There's a quick poll, if you can give us that as well. Your feedback means very much to us because it means that we can improve our sessions. We are always on the road of improvement. We want to improve. We want to get better and better at this so that we can have future sessions that add most value to your life and your colleagues' lives. Okay, just let me go to the last one. I will also put the link to the I'll also put the link to the test for you in the chat box now. Give me a moment. I shall do it. So if you can't scan or you've got something else which is preventing you from accessing the test, I am send the session 1 test as well. I will. So here is the session 2 test. I'm putting it in the chat box. And Albertine, I'm gonna respond to you now and give you the session 1 test. There we go. You do have the ability to give us your feedback in that test afterwards. There is a little feedback section, so you're most welcome to do that as well. Albertine, I am responding to you. Test 1. There we go. There's the link to test 1. Okay, good. Excellent. So thank you so very, very much, everybody, for attending today's session. We really appreciate your time. It's been fantastic. We love it when we have such an interactive team. We will be then sharing with you your results of the test. Definitely, we will do that. We will also be sharing the links for next week's session from Monday onwards. We'll share the links. We have also created a space on our own website where you can actually go. We're going to be putting all the recordings there as well as on YouTube. So we're going to be putting everything on. We've created the space on our website to do that. I'll quickly show you. So under, let me do a quick screen share. I hope everybody could scan in the test. If not, the link is in the chat. This is our website, salt.na. Under the contact button, you'll see there is now a beautiful little space. If I can just stop clicking, you have to go to Digital Security Public Sessions. All of the links for all of the sessions are listed there. So there was week 1, this was week 2, week 3. If you want to register now already, you can go ahead and do that. And we will definitely be posting the recordings here as well. So super easy for us to find. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Can we close the session, or is there still anything anyone wants to comment or mention or add or ask? No, there's not. There's not a time frame for the test, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. I think we should put a time frame for the test from the next one onwards. Matthias, your hand is up.
Excuse me, I didn't get any test link. The link, I didn't receive it.
For the test?
Yes.
Did you check in the chat button? In the chat section?
Let me quickly check there.
Quickly check in the chat. I've posted the link there.
Okay, now I can
see. Okay,
yes.
Awesome. Just make sure to go to session 2 test, because that it says session 2 test.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Anything else? Anything else, or can we wrap up for today? Good. Then I think we are going to wrap up for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. We really appreciate it. Go and share the links far and wide of the sessions. We are trying to reach every Namibian over the course of the next 4 years as part of our MOU with MICT, which started last year for a 5-year period. So we need more people trained if we're going to train everyone in Namibia. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you a fantastic Friday and a beautiful weekend.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.